10 wholesome gaming related stories because I'd like to spread more positive vibes after some of the horrendous comments I received on the last video. Watch this video doing significantly worse than the negative counterpart because YouTube likes to push more negative topics. But anyways, let me tell you the first story. It was back when I was in school. I'm not sure what it's called outside of Germany, but essentially the school after elementary school. Google tells me intermediate school, but for my German viewers it's called Realschule. Maybe also high school, I guess. We needed to create a presentation about Africa and the current situations and problems that many parts of this continent have, from what I remember at least. And I do remember that we did a pretty solid job actually. And received a good grade for it too. We gathered at one of the classmates' places and worked on it together. After we were done, he actually told us that he'd gotten himself a new game some time ago, and has gotten really good at it. I don't fully remember which game, but I'm pretty sure it was a Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 maybe, I'm not sure. And I picked Sasuke, also known as Sasuke. And he picked that one dude with the 3 black holes in a white swirl mask. I don't know his name. He told me the general controls with light attacks and heavy attacks, and I thought, okay, you know, it seems simple enough. I started fighting him, and it was pretty equal actually, most of the time. I also didn't want to look like a sweat, so I tried to keep it cool, and we had a good time together. Then he started to combo me, and the other dudes were starting to trash talk about me not being much of a gamer if I can't keep up to someone like him, right? I locked in. Somehow got out of his combo and dude, I don't know how I did that. Genuinely, I don't know how. But I got him into a very lengthy combo and seemingly did the right button combo to trigger a very dramatic and cinematic world-ending event. And defeated him. This dude looked defeated, and the other guy slowly turned his head over to him and told him, "Damn, you kinda suck. He beat your ass." And I suddenly felt so bad about it, though he just shook my hand and said GG, and we continued to play a bit more afterwards. And guess what? I got destroyed afterwards. Story number 2 was many years later when I was at work and Pokémon GO was currently peaking. And straight up, everyone was talking about it. I don't think I have to explain why. At one point I just saw the junior boss, aka the dude who replaces the boss should he be gone, just running into the workshop and telling everyone to come to his welding plate real quick. A colleague found a bird on his plate. Dude summoned the whole company at his welding plate to look at the Pidgey. That was caught by the Pokemon fan who bought the Switch only for Pokemon because those are classics, and the only good Nintendo IP by the way. It was him. Then the junior boss was almost yelling like the shop dude in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He caught a Pokemon on my welding plate! I have no clue why he out of all people was so excited about Pokemon, but that turned into a core memory of mine for good reasons. I think that was pretty funny. Remember when you were younger, playing during break time on school before even YouTube was a thing? And you heard those rumors about some secret like Luigi being an unlockable character on Super Mario 64 because of the stone in the backyard that has a text on it that you can't read? Hero Brian being a character some I've seen in their single player playthroughs, watching them and then vanishing if approached, or also aliens and actual ghosts in Mario games. I don't mean the Mario universe ghosts, but actually scary beings present in what felt like a lot of Mario games. Secret shortcuts in Mario Kart Wii, like in the Bowser's Castles map where the Robo Bowser is located. You can jump into his mouth to skip a big chunk of the track, which I tried for so long, although it was never a thing. All those GTA mysteries and secrets and what they meant, not just for, even before 5, GTA 4, there's like thousands of them. And those Portal 1 and 2 mysteries with the Rat Man and various locations that don't have much of an explanation. Nowadays you know that those are either just Easter eggs or details to expand the lore on, but back then it felt so insane. If you found something like that and started to discuss things and hearing other rumors and seeing if those were real or not, there really aren't many Easter eggs nowadays in video games, or secrets being implemented that could spark a lot of discussions and theories. Even Xenogears had these, and Xenoblade kinda don't anymore nowadays. The last games that had them were Saints Row 4, although the game was mediocre at best and unfortunately killed the studio. Elden Ring, for sure. Like for example, a door that just slightly open where a bright light shines through, and it has a lot of roots over it, but you can't access it. What's behind there? Good question. It started theories and a lot of talk about it. Breath of the Wild had those too, and then Tears of the Kingdom also killed all speculation in an instant, at least when it was released. Hollow Knight and Dead Cells are also fully of these things. And yeah, also, Clair Obscur also had them too. That just shows me that those devs love the things they do, implementing these sometimes little, but they add so much to the game and make them so exciting to talk about. I miss these things in many modern games. The next story is related to Minecraft, and also a fun story considering I've been doing YouTube for pretty much 3 years now. But I actually did YouTube before, and before you ask, no, those videos don't exist anymore. Though it was around the year 2012 or 2013 where me and another dude were doing Minecraft Herobrine, Minecraft survival games or adventure map videos. Really cringy, nothing that would be worth looking into. It was exactly what you'd expect from these very early gameplay videos. I don't even think there was any editing involved too, just a recording and that being uploaded. I don't even remember looking into analytics or if those even existed back then. It was just kind of fun. But I remember going over to his house and doing a Christmas Minecraft special where he just sat in front of the microphone and talked about random stuff in German. That was fun. Minecraft has been my comfort game since forever. I really loved this game ever since the alpha days where you didn't even have a hunger meter and you regenerated health by eating food. I've forgotten to mention that the channel's name was called Freshhaltefolie. Germans will get it, and no, it wasn't my idea. I remember fondly back to this memory in particular. I had a 3DS that I took with me to Italy, more specifically Lake Garda, where we went with the whole class as the last trip in our final year of school, to play some games on it later in the day when we were in our rooms, you know. Or maybe if we don't have anything to do in particular. And during the end of the first day, one of the roommates noticed me playing the demo of Super Smash Bros. And then he told me that he, funny enough, also had the demo on his own 3DS, which he also brought with him. He was a big Pokémon fan and had his 3DS usually for Pokémon, but downloaded the Smash demo just for fun. And I knew that the demo had a local multiplayer option unlocked. I asked him to try to do some local battles, you know, maybe it would work. And to our surprise, it actually worked. We were playing together and brought the other roommates into the battles, and we started doing 1v1 battles every evening in a tournament setting with the 5 characters available to us, and were writing down the results. You could start the demo only 20 times or something, but it was enough to do these tournaments beside Lake Garda every day under a beautiful night sky and after traveling around Italy the whole day. Man. I obviously played Link and also won most of the time, but every day we eagerly awaited to play again and did that until the very late night. Core memory, man. Not exactly related to real life, but the next story happened thanks to Miiverse on 3DS and Wii U, which honestly deserves its own video. Miiverse unironically altered the trajectory of my life and the things I'd like to do in the future. There was a girl once who had the nickname of Delta, aka the reason why my name was Delta Spark before I even became SparksOpus. We met when playing Splatoon against each other, and kinda had a rivalry going on, since we both were pretty good at this game. It was the most played Wii U game from both of us, and we once just decided to DM with each other, you know, send a friend request. She was an artist who was not famous on Miiverse, but she did have multiple thousands of followers, and I was so inspired by it that I started drawing myself. My oldest video on this channel is about these drawings, and after a while I became better and better, then wanted something more ambitious and I started creating stories. Once a week I made a drawing and I started writing stories underneath that drawing that I created myself. And I also gained a solid following of I think 500 or 600 followers that would read and unironically enjoy them. Me and Delta then started to create a guild, aka club, on Miiverse, and we did weekly battles in either Mario Kart 8, challenge runs in Mario Maker, mini games like hide and seek or sniper only battles in Splatoon, drawing contests and other similar events that we kinda cycled through them. And it became quite a big thing with over 100, maybe even 200 people participating. One of the core members and people I interacted with quite frequently, also through Skype back then, were people like Andy, Celine1 and Celine2, Larissa, Stefan, Jaden, and so many more. During the peak of this whole community thing, I think it was one of the greatest moments in my childhood, man. We had such a cool thing going, although after a while there was more and more drama involved and some people, including myself, did some stupid things, said some stupid stuff, and it crashed down pretty hard. Friendships and connections lost, no more fun events and activities, and eventually Miiverse shut down, and all of it was no more. I always feel pretty mixed when thinking back to that time, but man, during the peak of it, it was surely something. But yeah, good things don't last forever. If you followed the channel for a little while, you probably know that my mom is an ex-gamer. I made videos on that in the past, and so was my uncle. When I was younger, he once built himself a very expensive PC for like 3,000 euro. And played a little game called Need for Speed Underground 2. And he taught me to play this game and gave me challenges to do while I was playing. I think he is the reason why I fell in love with the racing genre in the first place. First with the PlayStation 1 and the steering wheel and games like Gran Turismo 2 and WRC, but also Need for Speed, later on also Carbon, which I really loved. But I remember that eventually he told me that there is one mission that he wasn't able to beat, and told me to give it a try. I lost once, twice, and my mom arrived and wanted to pick me up. I don't even remember why I was there in the first place, but right when I had to leave, I logged in and I remembered the last 15 seconds of that race very clearly in my head. Pushing the accelerate button so hard, seeing how the time is running out and freaking wall grinding into the finish line and actually beating the mission. We were celebrating, and then my mom came in and had no clue what was going on, but was very glad that we had fun together. He thanked me and we continued to do it a few more times after that. Story number 8 is also related to my uncle, but happened way later. He had a child now and stopped gaming for a while. But when we went to visit him, he told me to come with him. He had a slightly bigger home now, where he had a staircase. He explained to me that he has gotten some stuff for his little girl, and showed me under that staircase that he created a gaming area, with an old CRT TV and a SNES with a game like the 2D Marios, Donkey Kong Country, Prince of Persia, Terranigma, Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, and some other games. And I played through some of those games for the very first time. Like Terranigma and Ninja Turtles, both games were incredible, but especially Terranigma really stayed with me. 1 year ago, he already had a second child for quite a few years now, and lives a completely different life. But he has gotten a Switch for one of his kids, and he saw the new Prince of Persia on Switch in the eShop and asked me through my mom if it's any good. I haven't played it myself yet, and I told him that this game received a lot of praise and I think he would like it. A few days later he told me how he'd played the game for hours into the night and had an absolute blast with this game, and that it took him back to the times when he played games more regularly, and he finished it in less than a week. The last two stories are a bit on the shorter side. Story 9 was a year after the Switch launch and I was in a vocational school, thanks Google. There was one other person who owned a Splatoon 2 Switch, which was just a normal Switch but with different colored Joy-Cons, and a Splatoon 2 Pro Controller. And we played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe from him and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from me during break time. And also sometimes during the lessons. I mean, come on, man. The Joy-Cons were pretty perfect for that. One Joy-Con in each hand, in the jacket pockets and hiding the Switch behind our flasks. Stealth 100, peak gamer behavior, would do it again. I clapped them all, by the way. In-game, that is. Number 10 happened in that same school, and is not really gaming related. It was a special day where multiple classrooms had different mini-games and other stuff to do. It was quite fun. You went through the whole building and had lots of things offered. There was a chess class, and me and two other dudes decided to join this one. I mean, I like chess. Funny enough, there were more and more people coming in. And right before that, the teacher said that he'll be gone shortly and he'll be back soon. After he came back, he saw that the whole room was full of people wanting to play chess. You should have seen his face. He was in such disbelief. He just asked, "You all want to play chess?" We all just nodded, and he had such a wild smile on his face and said he'd never think so many of us younger folks would be that interested in chess. But he told us that he'll happily teach everyone who doesn't know the rules how to play the game. I was unfortunately beaten, but it was very fun, and actually very close too. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed these little stories. Those are some deeper cuts actually into the SparksOpus lore, but I'm glad that I can share them with you. Thank you all very much for listening, and I wish you all a very great day. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one, folks. Goodbye.